Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Today I am going to go over Basketball Wives, just a little bit of my 2 cents. This episode was a little bit watchable. I only fast forward 35% of the episode. So to me, that's an okay episode for Basketball Wives. First I want to say production, VerShandia, I see you. I see you. I see the games you're trying to play. And I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to fall for it. This whole episode showed me, because I thought I was going to like the 2 new girls. This whole episode showed me y'all brought these 2 new girls on here for the okie doke to try to get us to bash OG with you, to make OG seem like she's such a problem. I'm not falling for it, Shawnee. Y'all gonna have to miss me with it. And it's so ignorant of you all. Instead of you all just coming around and saying, I'm sorry. All the girl wants is an apology and for you to stop gaslighting her and making her feel like she's in the wrong. All you have to do is say, I'm sorry, and move the fuck on. Y'all could have said, I'm sorry, and didn't have to invite OG back if you disliked her so much. But just say y'all fucking sorry and stop with this narrative that you're trying to give us, because it just makes you all look bad. Like, how are your ratings doing, Shawnee? Like, your ratings didn't just drop, they plummeted. Like, you lost 2/3 of your viewership. That should be telling you something. But let's get into the episode. I'm in the back of the house, y'all. My husband in the front watching ESPN, so I can't go to my little makeup office filming studio because there's no doors. So if he's in the front of the house watching TV, you're going to hear everything they talking about over on the ESPN. So I said, let me just come in the back. I don't have my huge ring light, but let's get it done. I don't care about Malaysia and Jackie making up just so they can break up to make up all over again. It's tired, it's old, it's late, and we've seen it before. Moving on. Malaysia, your wigs be slaying though. I loved that black wig with the blonde highlights. I want that one. Malaysia, you do good when it comes to the hair game. But let's move on. Now, like I said, I thought I was going to like these 2 new girls. Excuse me. But I see the setup. We come into a scene where the 2 new girls are talking to Shawnee. I hear them saying how, I guess OG cooked the dinner for them and they had a nice time getting to know OG. And OG shared that she had a teacher in her past that told her she would never amount to anything because she's dark skinned. I believe it. There's a lot of trash ass teachers out here. What I don't like is, and I agree with OG when she states this later in the episode, that's not you all's place to tell Shawnee. Shawnee does not like OG, and you know OG don't like Shawnee. Why are you giving her information? This is something that now Shawnee is talking about, oh, it sounds like she has a childhood trauma. Or did the twins say that? I don't know. But it's not a childhood trauma. You can experience a childhood trauma and still have some grown-ass adults do the same bullshit. This isn't a lingering effect of a childhood trauma. This is y'all on the bullshit. Y'all grown asses are still on the bullshit. And instead of apologizing... my phone. Instead of apologizing, you want to try every trick in your book to change the narrative, and we're not falling for it. We're not falling for it. Let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. So Shawnee says something that pisses me off. Shawnee says, I'm so happy that you all told me this because it humanizes OG. And I'm like, humanized? Like, OG has been a human. What do you mean? So OG has to break down and cry, tell you all of her childhood trauma. You really have to hear that you hurt her feelings for you to humanize her. That's part of the problem. See, that's part of the problem. And that's why you and your friend Evelyn are racist and colorist, because you probably think of OG as the emoji that Evelyn posted instead of as a human being. And that's what's the fuck is wrong with a lot of people that aren't black, white people, racist people. They don't see us as humans, so they don't validate, because you don't see us as humans. Not saying you don't see us as humans, but you're saying that to mean that you don't validate her emotions. Like, Shawnee, I just feel like you dig yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. And I thought you were smarter than this. I did. For you to be this huge executive producer, you're this huge marketing guru. Before you even met Shaq, you were educated and had your own businesses and all of this. For you to be so smart, you're acting very fucking ignorant right now, Shawnee. It's like you don't think about what you say before you say it. Like you probably thought you were saying something deep, like, oh, OG being hurt as a child humanizes her. Why couldn't she be human when she was telling you about y'all selves at the reunion? Miss me with all the bullshit. And now, because you've heard of her childhood trauma, now you think that you all can get past it. Like, you just wanted these girls to give you an excuse to say, oh, it's not us, it's her childhood, so we can move on, right? No. As long as Basketball Wives is on the screen, we, the viewers, are going to keep our foots on your throat for OG. Like, and I feel like this has to be the last season, like, because people ain't just going to keep giving you a season and ain't nobody watching. Now the new girls, I guess everybody comes around in the group. I ain't take really good notes, but one of the new girls says she used to date, what's the girl named Phoebe's ex, Lance. And I'm like, who cares? Neither one of y'all are dating him now. So why does it matter? That's like me going around to everyone who one of my exes used to date, like, oh, well, I dated him in college and she dated him in high school, right? Or, I dated him in 2015 and she was with him in 2013. Like, bitch, nobody cares. It's 2021 and ain't neither one of y'all dating his ass. So why is this a storyline? Why is this a storyline? And then let's fast forward to Phoebe, because I want to get her out the way, because she stay on the fast forward. What do you mean this girl is stalking you on IG and sending you pornos? I said, bitch, you lying. That's not something that a current girlfriend does. That's something a jealous ass ex does. The jealous ass ex is on Instagram trying to figure out what the new girl is and want to send little video clips and shit like fucking with the new girl. The new girl don't give a fuck about the ex, because guess what? Me and Lance out having fun. Me and Lance out in Aruba partying while you in this 2-bedroom apartment with your 2 kids. Who is Lance? Where your child support game, girl? Why are you still in this 2-bedroom apartment? Moving on, I feel like Phoebe, you need to be happy that Shawnee went out and found one of Lance's ex-girlfriends so you could film a scene. Because if it was not for this tea that does not matter, you wouldn't have a FaceTime to film and you would have no check. So you need to be thanking the Naya girl or the Noria girl, whichever one it is. You need to be thanking her so you can make a check for a FaceTime scene. You need that little $500. Water bill high, I heard. Moving on. The twins have a moment where all condolences. I mean this because I don't like to shade nobody in the sad moment. Their father passed away from COVID. One of the twins broke down and cried. But I felt like now, production, this is Evelyn's moment to get up and hug and seem like she's a caring person when Evelyn gives a fuck about nobody. Nobody. Why? I don't even want to talk about her. Production, I see you. I see you. Um, Kristen has a moment where she says her grandmother was colorist, so she understands colorism because until she was born, her grandmother didn't like dark skinned people. And I can guarantee you one thing because I know this about old school people and their mindsets. A lot of their mindsets don't change. She probably accepted you as her dark skinned grandchild, but you probably experienced a lot of negative, underhanded snide remarks. You've probably experienced a lot in your own family. And I don't understand how you can say, oh, my grandmother don't like dark skinned people, but you can't understand the plight of OG. You can't understand not a single word of OG's point of view. Kristen missed me with it. Okay, now we're back at the house with OG. The twins tell OG that they talked to Shawnee, and OG, told them, like, look, I don't like Shawnee. Shawnee don't like me. Don't tell them nothing about me. When you go over to that house, have whatever kind of experience you want, but don't talk about me. And I felt like she was right for saying it. And she said it in a respectful way to me. So, and another scene first. OG and Jen, at the house by themselves because Jackie and everybody else over at the other house. And it's shameful because when you think about this, 100, if OG was not here this season, there wouldn't be two houses. They would have Malaysia and Jackie over there rolling their eyes at each other. Jen would be over there rolling her eyes at Evelyn and vice versa. They would have all the girls in one house. It's because of OG, which is the colorist shit she was talking about at the reunion. Why do I have to be separate? And it's mighty funny to me that a bitch who threw a table at your head, Jen and Malaysia are more cool, and this bitch threw a table at y'all head, but y'all are more scared of OG, who has done nothing but match y'all energy. Y'all more scared of a real bitch who can match the same energy that you put out to other people than a bitch who actually threw an object that could kill you. Like OG said, I could kill you. She used her words. But Malaysia actually picked up an object to kill Jennifer. Because what were you trying to do when you aimed the table at her head? But ain't nobody got a problem with that. But let's move on. So Jen is sitting up talking about her documentary, and OG is sitting up rhinestoning a basketball. And I'm like, this is why this shit needs to be canceled. This is not entertaining. Don't nobody give a fuck about OG rhinestoning no basketball. And I'm with OG. Jennifer, nobody gives a fuck about this man who stole your car or whatever the story you trying to spin. You was getting ready to get a fast forward. But once OG said, was like, oh, look at this person, da, 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 and Jen got in her feelings because OG wasn't paying attention, I wasn't mad because nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about it. Move on. But now Jen has a problem with OG because OG don't want to hear her documentary tales. Move on from that as well. So they outside working out. It looked like a good workout. OG is, motivating people. Now the twins say OG is bossy. I'm like, bitch, y'all working out. She trying to tell y'all to keep it going. Jennifer comes outside with a mask on. Or did she? Well, OG went to go make everybody breakfast. When Jennifer came back, she had a mask on talking about she got a problem with OG, so she don't want to talk. And I'm like, production, VerShandia, I see you. How many extra dollars you give Jennifer to spend her storyline? Because I heard you pay her $5,000, so what you give her $6,000? I know them twins would do it for an extra $200. So I don't understand why now everyone has a problem with OG. Jennifer has to wear her mask. She don't want to eat. She don't want to drink. She don't want to talk. All because OG don't want to listen to her tired ass documentary tales. And then the twins, who OG has done nothing to but be kind to them, cook you breakfast, give you a workout, motivate you through the workout. All she did is tell you, don't tell them bitches my business. And she ain't even say it like that. But now OG is too bossy. So instead of aggressive, because we've learned our lesson, we don't want to call the dark-skinned woman aggressive. Let's just say bossy. She's too bossy and she has a little bit of an attitude. I don't like the way they're spinning it. You can tell by the editing, just the scenes they clip in of OG, like we only gonna show OG when she's agitated. We aren't gonna show her being kind and nice and cool. Just sitting here, rhinestone in her purse. Don't nobody want that basketball purse, child, but she just sitting here, rhinestone in her purse, having a good time, minding her own business. And now Jen is flipping the whole narrative. I see you. So now I said this on Twitter. I've never seen grown ass women that need to have so many pep talks to have a conversation. Like either you gonna go talk to OG or you not. Why do you need to get pumped up by two bitches that you know don't even like her? Two bitches that can't stand her, but y'all need to be pumped up to go talk to OG and get some kind of clarity and understanding. Like this is fake shit. This is fake. Because if you wanted to be genuine and you really, like one thing I said, point blank period. It's been in a year and a half since that past reunion when OG has made her comments of the colorism of the group. If you all ever wanted to have any kind of clarity or understanding, it's this amazing thing on the internet called Google. You know, you can go to Google and type in anything. And you know what Google will do? They'll pull up like hundreds of thousands of articles and studies and definitions that can give you understanding. Bitches talking about, I don't know nothing about colorism, but you sitting up here talking about your motherfucking grandmother don't like dark-skinned women. Like, miss me with it. Y'all don't want to have understanding. Y'all don't want to have clarity. Y'all don't like OG. And I would respect you more to just be like, I don't like this bitch. I don't want to understand her. I'm not sorry. I'm gassing Shawnee and Evelyn up to keep being mean and doing fuck shit to her. And because they're not doing it to my dark skinned ass, I don't give a fuck. That's what Kristen and Malaysia really need to say. That's what they really need to say. Like, we see it, but it ain't us, so we don't care. We don't like her. Instead of this fake shit. Because another thing that these girls do that I really hate is why when Malaysia and Kristen leave, Shawnee and Evelyn are still saying colorist ass speech. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, I'm so scared for them. I have to pray. I hope everything is okay. I'm like, you're not sending them over to an axe murderer's house. You're not sending your 5-year-old daughters over to a pedophile's house. You're sending them. Do you see what I'm saying? That's colorist speech. What do you all call it? Microaggressions. What are you scared of? Do you think OG is about to turn into the Incredible Hulk and just body slam Malaysia and Kristen because they showed up? What do you have to pray for? I'm sure you're praying that your stunt will save your jobs. Because unlike Shawnee, all of y'all bitches about to be broke. Like, all of y'all bitches about to need some rent checks real soon. Because y'all want to protect this bitch Shawnee. Watch and see. Watch and see. I'm surprised the advertisers hasn't cut this shit off mid-season. So Malaysia gets there, and I'm sure this scene is heavily edited. But let's talk about just what we saw. Malaysia gets there, and she wants to know, what have I done to you? Have I done something colorist to you? And OG walks away and cries. Now, I'm sure we missed some stuff, but I feel OG. I can understand her crying because she's tired. It's been a year and a half. Let me say this. It's a lot of ignorant motherfuckers on social media. Within this year and a half, it's been people on Twitter, because I follow Basketball Wives on Twitter, calling OG monkeys, agreeing that she looked like the emoji that Evelyn put out there, saying that OG has nothing else going on in her life and she's just using this colorism as a storyline. But what the fuck is everybody else doing? What is anybody else's storyline? It's people out there saying, even a famous YouTuber, and y'all know who the fuck he is, and I love him, but I don't agree with what he did, where it's like, well, when is it that it's colorism? Why can't we just say she ugly? Like, people have been saying the nastiest shit to OG for the past year and a half. She's been trying to explain her point of view, and people have been saying, well, maybe you just ugly. You know, how would you feel? Like, I would cry too. I would break down too if I'm trying to, every time you come around, I have to explain why you hurt me. And not only why you hurt me, and I have to explain it another time. I know once I explain it to you yet again, everybody's going to go on Twitter, because you can look on Twitter last night. When the fuck is OG going to shut up talking about colorism? When is she just going to shut up? When is she going to get another storyline? Where these bitches had to get a pep talk to go over there and talk to her about it. Like, that's what they went over there for. It's for OG to talk about colorism. But everybody on Twitter is slamming her. I would fucking break down and cry too. It's a lot. And OG, for the life of me, I don't know why you didn't leave this shit. I would have left. It's too much. It's not worth, it wouldn't be worth my sanity to sit around with these tired ass bitches. If anything, y'all need to be thanking OG, because if OG wouldn't have came back, what the fuck would y'all be talking about? You telling me in this year and a half, ain't nobody got no new man? Ain't nobody got no new job? Ain't nobody got no new business opportunity that y'all could talk about? All the fuck everybody is talking about is OG. What happened next? So now that OG is crying, Kristen, oh girl, you're gonna make me cry. I can't believe, don't cry, girl. Don't, no, and not in the sisterhood in Malaysia. You're my sister. I want to really understand you. I'm like, y'all bitches never liked OG. Y'all never cared about her. Y'all really didn't want to come over here. Like, let's keep it 100. If it wasn't for, like OG called them out, the backlash, y'all wanting to change y'all narrative, y'all not wanting to be tied to Shawnee and Evelyn's fuck shit, y'all wouldn't have even came over there. And I guarantee Shawnee probably gave y'all what, an extra $2,500, because we know y'all need some rent, especially Kristen. She done already had to leave LA because LA rent was too high. So so I want to say one thing about this whole exchange to OG. Malaysia asked you, where did she go wrong? And I have a few things I want to say. Because Miss Kimmy over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she said something a few weeks ago that even put me in my place for when I want to go start talking to people going forward. She said, you can't start at where you're at right now. You got to start at the beginning. You can't start at the table throw with Malaysia. Start at the beginning, OG. And I feel like these girls will never understand you for a few reasons. Number one, OG, they don't like you. They don't respect you. And from the beginning, they chose not to like you because of whatever physical appearance they saw of you. They're very shallow. So you, and these are ignorant bitches. They're never going to receive it from you. You're going to need an intermediary, someone to be in the middle of the conversation, someone who is not wanting an opportunity from Shawnee in the future. You need someone, like they say, when you do the presidential election, someone impartial, but also educated on the subject to go back and forth between the groups. Because they're never, OG, I 100% rock with what you're saying and believe that you're right, but they're never going to receive it from you because it's coming from you. Okay, number 2. Sometimes, OG, like what I said with Kimmy, you harp on the wrong speaking points. Like, you said something to Kristen, like, you always choosing the light-skinned side when it came to them Chad text message and all that bullshit. That wasn't colorism. You picking on the wrong speaking points, which gives them room to wiggle out of it instead of holding them to the fire where the real colorism is. The real colorism isn't with Malaysia and Kristen, Jackie, none of them. The real colorism is with Shawnee, because Shawnee is the executive producer and production. Them putting you on a separate stage at the reunion was colorist. Them having you in a whole separate house right now is colorist. You all should be able to be together. They should not be able to come around and change a narrative and say you're this big, scary Black girl when you have done nothing. And these other bitches have thrown bottles, hands, tables, purses, every fucking thing else. And they've made everyone else get along. Number 3. Oh, and Evelyn is racist. So fuck that. Number 3. When Malaysia asked you that question, you should have started at the beginning, and I wrote it down. You should have told Malaysia you never, from day one, you never wanted to get to know me. All you ever talked about my very first season was my wigs, my makeup, my clothes. You even offered to give me a makeover at your expense because you thought I was broke. And you said all of this with a smirk on your face. You should have told Malaysia that you made me feel like you thought that I was ugly and you thought that I was broke and that I was not good enough to be on this show with you. That's the way you made me feel from day one. That's what you should have said to Malaysia. And then let Malaysia answer to that. Because that, you got to start, you can't start in the middle. Like, I love when Kimmy said that. You got to start with the beginning. Now, when I think back with Kristen, my memory ain't the best. I believe you started the shit with Kristen. OG ain't no angel at all. Like, we not going to just say OG hasn't started some bullshit of her own. But that's where you should have started with Malaysia. With Kristen, maybe, OG, maybe with Kristen, she could be more open to you if you would just say, when I first encountered you, I said something disrespectful about your husband, trying to make a good TV moment, and I apologize to you for that. I still don't think that's going to loosen up Kristen because she too far up Evelyn and Shawnee's ass and she really need a paycheck. But I think that would at least if you did that with Kristen and she was still on some bullshit, then I'm saying sometimes, but OG, you came out there, and this, like I said, this could be editing, but you came out there, you were crying, you had an emotional moment, and it seemed like you just flipped to be like, y'all just here for the backlash. Y'all wouldn't even be here if social media hadn't backlashed y'all, and if y'all ain't here to apologize about the colorism, because colorism is here, fuck it, that's it. I don't want to say nothing. And I ain't mad at you for taking that stance, because everything you said is 100% true. But sometimes I feel like if you would have took it at that approach and started at the beginning with Malaysia and Kristen and worked your way forward with them, they may come to your side. They just may. Because I guarantee you the two bitches that's never going to see it your way is Shawnee and Evelyn. Evelyn won because she is 40-something years old, probably a little bit older than me. 40-something years old, and her entire life has been rewarded for having that spicy Spanish. Wait, that's going to sound racist, what I'm getting ready to say. I'm getting ready to say a stereotype, and I don't want to sound racist. Let me just say it in general. Scratch that. Evelyn has spent her entire life being rewarded for having bad behavior. I don't want to put that on no nationality group. Angie, don't do it. She's been rewarded her entire life for having bad behavior. She's been rewarded her entire life for being beautiful, a beautiful, exotic, non-black woman that a lot of, a spade is being called a spade, African American athletes or people, once they get to a certain status in life, tends to go to a more exotic woman than a woman that looks like their mothers. Saying a spade a spade. So Evelyn is not going to change. She has been praised for doing this for over 4 decades. So why is she going to change her ways now? Do I think she sets out to say racist things and put up monkey emojis? No, I don't think in her heart she's being racist because she hates other races. But I think she does it because she thinks it's cute, and she's been getting away with this negative behavior for so long. She didn't think people would ever check her for it. Shawnee is not going to change because she's a rich bitch. Not in a good way, but I'm saying she's a bitch who happens to be rich. So since her coins aren't on the line, and even if Basketball Wives was to disappear tomorrow, Shawnee's bank account is still set. She doesn't see a need to change. She feels like everyone should lick her ass. If Shawnee cared anything about the continuance of this show, she wouldn't tell us that we're too invested in OG's colorist comments. We're too invested. So the two main bitches that are the culprits of the issue are not going to change. So it's like you're beating a dead horse at the end of the day. I'm sure we say this season after season after season after season. We don't think Basketball Wives will be back. We say we ain't reviewing this shit no more. We shall see. But I don't know where else they can go. The only way I can see this ever going up is for them to have a whole new cast. I mean, everybody that's on our TV screen right now, none of them can come back. None of them. And you have to scrap it and start all the way over. But who knows? But y'all know I review week to week. It depends on if my blood pressure is up, if I can make it through the episode. I actually thought this could have been a good episode, but I see production for their works. I really am going to pray for OG because she's been dealing with this, for 2 years now, and having to relive it on social media, and people are cruel to OG, and I feel bad. So, girl, that's all I got to give. That's the end of my notes. Let me know what you all think in the comments about this episode. And, I'll be back next week. We'll see how hard my fast forward game is. Did I watch the preview? I don't even know what next week gonna be about. So I'll see y'all back next week, and y'all take care. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.